Hello everyone, this is Brenda Brandenburg and I'm here with the Arkansas Herald bringing back to you the news that you got so used to watching and loved so much. First story up is that of the Special Prosecutor Scott Ellington, who has missed his self-imposed deadline to make a decision on whether to file any charges in the hot car death of the 18-month-old son of Judge Wade Nairmore. The death occurred on July the 24th last year, but Nairmore has reportedly not returned to the bench. Ellington told KARK Channel 4, quote, "My goal is to have it very soon, but I'm not going to set another deadline. Once this is over with, then you'll understand what I was dealing with," end quote. Social media comments have not been favorable to Nairmore or to the authorities in this case. We'll be right back with a word from our sponsors.
Are you hungry yet? Ooh, the Porterhouse, downtown Hot Springs, featuring prime steaks. Join us for dinner 7 nights a week.
On Wednesday, January the 27th, Roger Hood awoke to gunfire in his usually quiet Garland County neighborhood. Mountain Pine Police Chief and commissioned Garland County Deputy Chad King voluntarily responded to a criminal trespassing call in the 2900 block of Little Blakely Creek Road. Moments later, a gunfire exchange took place, leaving King wounded with at least 3 gunshot wounds and the suspect, 52-year-old Scott Scanlon, dead. Investigations now reveal that Scanlon did not want the tow truck that King had called to respond because he had drug-making materials inside the van. King has been released from the hospital and the Arkansas State Police are continuing the investigation. We'll be back in just a moment after a word from our sponsors. And we're back. The Garland County Tea Party held their first annual Patriot Awards banquet on Thursday, January the 28th. The sold-out event was held at the 5-Star Theater in downtown Hot Springs with host Tom Wilkins and keynote speaker Jan Morgan. Morgan, who owns the Gun Cave indoor firing range in Hot Springs, is a nationally recognized Second Amendment advocate and Associated Press award-winning journalist and guest correspondent with Fox News. Morgan made headlines when she banned Muslims from her shooting range last September, saying that it is, quote, "a matter of public safety and not a constitutional issue," end quote. The Arkansas Herald was fortunate to be the first news agency to interview Morgan after that incident. She delivered a powerful message to the attendees detailing the needs, in her opinion, for conservatives to get up off the couch and use their talents to help bring this nation back, to quote her. She spoke of the movement of the American dream from ideals to things. She explained what a true patriot does for his or her country. Awards given out that night were Volunteer of the Year, Clay Herman. Patrick Henry Award went to Mayor Ruth Carney. The Media Award went to the Hot Springs Daily. The Business of the Year was the Gun Cave. The Organization of the Year, the GGGG. The Bulldog of the Year went to my friend George Pritchett. The Woman of the Year was Diane Cowan. The Man of the Year, Dr. Jack Sternberg. The Lifetime Achievement Award was given to Hetty Lou Brooks, and the Champion of the Year was awarded to the host, Tom Wilkins. Your Arkansas Herald has a full-length video available in both DVD and Blu-ray format by calling 501-463-8619. This is Brenda Brandenburg with the Arkansas Herald, and I am visiting with Julie Williams.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
I have found out that you are a 20-year resident of Hot Springs.
I have been here for 20 years. It's hard to believe. I really feel like Hot Springs is my home now. You know, I was originally from Arkansas, but I lived in Little Rock, and I just have so many friends, and it's such a great town. I just can't imagine living anywhere else.
And you also have a business here in Hot Springs.
I do Urban Legend Designs. I do landscape and design work. A lot of times I interpret what people need. I can assess a situation. You know, it's funny, when you're decorating, a lot of times people actually have more than they need. And so I like to repurpose and revamp and still keep a look that looks like that person, not just inflicting a look on them. And so it keeps it interesting. It definitely.
Now, you had mentioned to me that you've done some tiny houses. So tell us a little bit about that.
I've built some potting sheds that, at the time when I first started, I hadn't heard of the tiny house phenomena, and so it's so fun to see how small a house you can build and still have everything incorporated. I also like to use a lot of repurposed, recycled materials. I have a potting shed myself called the Opera House, and it's built out of a lot of things that were torn down in Hot Springs years ago. And so it was kind of a commemorative piece, in a way, to the Opera House that was torn down. And we were trying to save buildings and very much interested in the history of the town. But I like to build something that actually looks old when it's done, which is different from what most people do, I think.
That sounds really interesting.
It is. It's fun.
I bet. I also hear that you are the citizen chair of the Parks and Trails Advisory Committee. Tell me what that involves.
Oh, I love Parks and Trails. I've been on the board for years, and this year I'm chairing with Jean Wallace, who's just a great treasure for Hot Springs. Jean has brought all these parks and done so many things with grant money and just initiative. She has such a vision, and so we have recently changed to Parks and Trails, and we've been focusing on trails. We're bringing bicycle groups here. We're doing a lot of things with mountain bikes, and we also are reaching our goal, which is so exciting, of going from downtown on the Greenway and stretching all the way to Lake Hamilton. And in the beginning there were over 30 parcels of land, and now we're down to 4 before we actually reach this goal that seemed almost unobtainable years ago, and now we're just really closing in. So a lot of lot of exciting things there.
So you're getting really close to being to the lake?
Getting very close
That
to the
is
lake.
so cool. I cannot wait to be able to do that.
I know.
That's-
I mean, just the idea of it.
Sounds
And
really
so
fun.
it's nice to see that vision realized. We also just got an award for our skate park,
Mm-hmm.
which was a really neat, different kind of park. We had skaters come in and design these ramps, which have specific names, and it's all poured concrete. And before we were even finished, people were in this park. You know, it was hard to keep them out.
Now, where is that? Is that on Valley Street?
It's on Valley.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
It's over on
Yeah, I
Valley.
remember seeing the award on that. That's
Yeah.
pretty neat for Hot Springs.
And it's our only park that is open till midnight on the weekends because kids need a place to go, and we really haven't had problems. But
Good.
that was one where we bent the rules because, you know, parks are supposed to provide places for people to go, and a lot of times if kids are bored, well, it's just better to have a place to go
Right.
and play instead of just looking for something to do.
Well, and it sounds like you're really involved with kids too. I hear that you wrote a book.
I did. I wrote a book called The Octopus's Garden. It's a children's book, and I'll be reading it at, is it Lattes and Lit? At Collective Coffee on March 5th. It's a children's book. I wrote it and illustrated. I actually made it for one of my children, but it's kind of a really neat book, and I have kids that have heard it. They keep asking about it, so I'm going to be reading it.
And that illustration led you into something else with Hot Springs, didn't it?
Well, when someone was looking at the illustrations in this book, they got really excited about a possibility of a mural project for one of the community gardens in Hot Springs. And it's kind of a relaunching, rebranding. They're going to call it the Palm Beach Gardens. It's located by the convention center. And it's a long wall. And so one of the pictures kind of inspired them because it was a picture of a garden. We're going to paint, hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be painting a large mural that looks like a garden so that people realize there is a garden.
Okay.
So it'll be kind of like permanently blooming. And then we may plant some things in front of the actual painting so it kind of gives it that dimension. But I just want people to look up there because a lot of people don't know where it is.
And then one other thing, like you have, it doesn't sound like you have a whole lot of time on your hands, is the farmer's market. You've been involved in the farmer's market for quite a while.
I have. I served on the board, and then for the last 3 years, I've been doing Farmer of the Week for the Sentinel Record. It's not actually for the Sentinel Record, it's for the farmer's market. I volunteer. And so I've had the unique opportunity to talk to every farmer, hear about their growing techniques, how to can jelly, and all kinds of really great things, and just have really benefited from that.
Now, when does the farmer's market start again?
Well, they have winter market.
They do,
They
okay.
do, but in the spring, I'm not sure of the date, but they'll start the summer market, and then they'll have it on Saturdays and Thursdays in the evening. I believe it's 5 to 7 on Thursdays, but right now it's just on Saturdays, but they still do have a market. It's just, a lot of produce is not in season, but
Right.
actually there's quite a bit there. There's a lot of, some people have greenhouses, you've got your jellies, you've got your soaps, all these local products that are so good. So,
That sounds neat. I'll
Yeah.
have to get back down there. I didn't even realize it was still going on.
yeah, it is.
How did I miss it?
I don't know.
Well, we have so enjoyed visiting with you, Julie. It sounds like you're involved in so many wonderful things with Hot Springs.
Thank
I'm glad
you.
I got the opportunity, and we'll
Yeah.
have to bring you back and hear about more of what you're involved in.
Okay,
All
thank you
right.
very much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to Bellearti.
Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Enjoy a complimentary soup of the day or house salad with your dinner entree. Sunday through Thursday, join us for dinner and receive your second entree half price. Every Tuesday, a special 3-course dinner is offered to our senior citizens, priced at $9.95 per person. Remember, private banquet rooms and catering services are always available.
Vi aspettiamo, arrivederci.
Hello, I am Brenda Brandenburg here with the Arkansas Herald talking to Tom Wilkins. Hi, Tom.
Oh, hi, Brenda. I didn't see you there.
Oh, okay, I know.
Yeah.
We are talking to you about your famous five-star theater here in Hot Springs. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been there.
This is actually our 30th year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, I was about 30 years younger when it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's been, seen a lot of water come down the street since then, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's been neat. It's been a lot of great things happen.
So did you go through the flood actually?
I had a show the night of the flood.
Oh wow.
I had 300 people in the theater, and it had been raining. I don't know if you want me to go into the story, but it was 13.6 inches in 6 hours.
Wow.
May the 19th, 1990, not that I remember.
No, you don't remember. At all.
But yeah, we were doing a show, and the water started coming in the front door, and finally I got everybody evacuated after the water got up to about their knees, you know. Not, it wasn't
You said
quite
it's time
that.
to swim out.
Yeah, but there wasn't any panic, but I was able to get everybody out early before the water came into the building. And then a car came down the street and hit the front of our building, and water gushed in there and filled up the basement, which is big as the building is, 10 feet deep. And then it came up in the theater. You know, I had everybody out by that time. But it was, I could talk for hours actually on that night. It was a very scary thing if you've never dealt with a flash flood. And it was like 4 feet deep, wild river country outside my front door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But
Yeah.
you survived all that, and now we're at 30 years.
Yep,
And
30 years.
are you doing anything special this year to celebrate that?
Not a thing.
Not a thing. Okay.
No, actually, it's all special. We have all kinds of stuff coming up in the immediate future. Now, this is being filmed the first part of February here, and I have two exciting things coming up. Well, first of all, on this Friday night, I have Drive Miss Daisy, the play. Most
Okay.
people don't realize that the play came before the movie did.
Yes.
And it's a lot funnier, to be honest with you. Great play.
Okay.
And then starting Saturday night, I have a legend coming into the theater. His name's Jim Post. Jim does a one-man Mark Twain musical play. And the Smithsonian Institute said that he's destined for Broadway in this play. It's that good. And so he's going to be performing actually after this weekend on, I got to think, Thursdays and Saturday nights. And then I have a play starting next weekend on Friday nights called Four Weddings and an Elvis.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And
okay.
I'm the Elvis.
Is this an original play?
No,
by you?
it's not.
Okay.
It's one you actually have to pay royalties on, and it was performed. The Pocket Theater did it a few years ago, and one of their most successful plays. And I kept having people say, "Hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do it?" And we've got some just super talented people in Hot Springs, and so we put it together, and it's going to be a barn burner.
Sounds great.
So that's just in the next couple months.
Well, we're going to visit again and go over your schedule, hopefully
Good.
bring you back,
Yep.
and let everybody know, because your theater is very, very iconic for downtown.
Well, and honestly, you were in at Patriotic Night,
I
the
was.
Patriotic Awards Bank, so you
Yes.
have seen the changes that we've made, and we've got our own kitchen there now, and it's really, I think if people came in, they'd be happily surprised that it's in downtown Hot Springs.
Yes, and you've got a wonderful band there.
I
did
got an
get to-
excellent band.
Yes,
Yeah.
and tell me who your lead singer is of that band.
Well, actually, we have a few. We have
Okay.
Rebecca Seawald is the one I think that you saw, and of course my wife Susan, and we have Doug Lackey is our band leader, and there's probably not a more talented person musically in Hot Springs than Doug. He's just phenomenal. And then the other bandmates change out according to what
Okay.
we're doing.
Well, it was really outstanding that
Thank
night.
you.
It really was.
Thank you.
It really was.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly appreciate you coming down and talking to us and
Sure.
letting us know what's coming.
Yeah.
We're going to visit again so
Good.
that we can keep everybody.
Oh, it's raining out there. I better go check the street.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
You never know when another 100-year flood's going to come along.
That's true. It could happen really fast.
I think it's snowing, actually.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brenda. Good to see you.
Thank you. You
betcha.
too.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Concludes the news from the Arkansas Herald. Thank you.